Hey everybody, it's Grace. This video, I'm going to talk about this kind of personality really, that I often run across. I'm not saying they have the personality disorders, but it's a personality, they're kind of behaviors. And it's a histrionic, but it's kind of mixed with narcissistic, and I've seen these since I was a child. Okay, this kind of blend. And of course, probably, since I've seen it since I was a child, whenever I run across someone like this, it sticks out to me. It might not stick out to other people. Usually it does. Usually people will say something to me about what they noticed too. I usually don't bring it up, but because I've seen them since I was a child. Yeah. Okay, so like I said, it's a mixture of like narcissistic type behaviors and histrionic type behaviors, and not the whole, but a lot of the behaviors, like or just even the way they dress. Okay, let's start there. It's often women that's been in my life, but not all have been women. Some have been men. Okay, so let's not say it's one or the other, but for me, yeah, mainly women. And the way they dress is the way they dress, the way they talk, their body language, everything is very what's the word? I just had it. Provocative, suggestive, but when they get older, not so much. Okay, but they do this more when they get older, is they really want the way they dress to stand out, though. Okay, something very bright, very, everybody in the world's going to turn around and look at them, because that's a big part of who they are. They want to be the center of attention. It's like they think they have to be, and nobody else can be the center of attention, so they're going to do whatever they can to stand out. Like, in that respect, they'll wear a lot of bling. I've said on my other channel that they'll wear so much bling that they put Mr. T to shame. Okay, I'm serious. Some people have it like I don't wear any. I don't usually wear jewelry at all. Occasionally some rings. I always liked anklets, if I did wear any. I don't know, I find them irritating, especially bracelets. Like I usually am writing or doing something on the computer, so bracelets really annoy me. And I have sensitive skin anyway. So, but some people do like to wear a lot of bracelets or whatever, but they make sure they stand out, because it's not just the bling that they wear so much of. They'll also wear, like I said, something, when they're younger, it's usually something see-through. I've seen this in women in their 40s. See-through, you're going to see their bra, if they're wearing one. But yeah, they want, their pants really, really tight. Yeah, something like that. But they're going to stand out. Or like I said, when they're older, it's very bright colors, very bright. Also, they'll do like their hair. It's going to be, I have thick hair. I have really long, it's all the way to my waist, thick hair, and I tame it. I put a ponytail holder on it usually when it's wet, and that kind of tames it. It's not so wild. But they want that. They want that big hair. And I'm not talking just about Texans, so don't go there. But yeah, they want that big hair, and they want that makeup that looks like it was more like poured on instead of just, your average kind of makeup. They want theirs to really stand out, because they must, like I said, they have an attitude like they must be that center of attention, and nobody is going to outshine them, kind of literally even. Some of you know, I'm making this stuff up. It's not just in my head. There are actually personality disorders: histrionic personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder. They're in the same cluster in the DSM, cluster B, of antisocial, which some say do and some say don't include. The antisocials include sociopaths and psychopaths, and then there's also another one that's not included in antisocial, but it is a cluster B, which is a borderline personality disorder, which has a strange name. Yeah, they need to change that name, seriously. I've learned it and remember it is borderline, is that they borderline on psychotic, but they also borderline on other personality disorders, and there's 3 clusters of them. So yeah, I'm not going to go through all those. I'm not diagnosing anybody with these, but their behaviors follows pretty much underneath what the criteria. The only people who can diagnose are the people who are like, it depends on where you live, of course. Like here it would be licensed professional counselors, maybe I would think psychiatrists, but they have to be licensed by the state that they can make that kind of determination. So I'm not doing that. Like I'm saying, the people that I've been around, they have this kind of mix, kind of narcissistic behaviors or traits, characteristics, and that of histrionic. Okay, another thing, I don't think I mentioned this one, besides that they want to stand out, is another way they stand out is they talk really loud. I mean, very loud. If anybody else says anything, it's like they're whispering, and they may be talking like normal, just a regular tone of voice, regular, what is the word? Louder, loud or not. Goodness, I can't get this out. I'm not even going to try again. But no, they're very loud. And their laughter, oh my goodness, their laughter will hurt your ears. Okay, they are so loud with it. And it's kind of like cackling, or maybe a laughing hyena. Maybe that's just a nickname for them. But yes, it's very loud and very long. It's a bit like they don't realize other people are around them, or they don't care that other people are around them. As long as the attention is on them, and they don't care, you may think you're in a restaurant, somebody's laughing that loud and talking that loud, that other, diners might get a little annoyed and say something, or look at you, look at your whole group. Because of them, they don't care. If they don't care if it's negative attention or positive attention. To them, it's attention, and they want that. I used to call them attention sluts, but some people call them attention seekers, or drama queens, drama kings, along this line. But yeah, and seriously, it can give you a headache, hurt your ears. They're so loud. Thing of wanting so much attention, you could be in a situation, it reminds me of that movie, and I've said this, I think, in one video before, Terms of Endearment, wasn't it? From, when was it, 70s, 80s? I don't remember. Long time ago. And one of them, I think she was dying of cancer, and the mother couldn't handle it. The mother was kind of rather histrionic, and she had to have the attention back on her. Now, you might be in a situation where really people need to have, their attention on you. Like, say you're having a baby, or your daughter's having a baby, and you're wanting to be in there, and somebody's just trying to get the attention back on them, and away from the person who the attention should be on. A birthday party. They might do something like the birthday person is opening up presents, and they say, "Oh, well, you got one of those. I've had one, and they're no good." They become rather, and the ones I've known, kind of, abusive. Now these days, people kind of have replaced the word abusive with narcissistic. Some people have across the board. I think it's being overused a bit. But yeah, they're going to get that attention back on them, whether they're being, the people are going to look at them in a bad way or a good way, doesn't matter, as long as the attention is on them. All kinds of situations, just think of all those that you can come up with where that would be the case. They want that attention back on them. Okay. Now, like I'm saying, these are people that you really don't want to be tangled up with too long. For me, the ones that I had in my life, at a certain point in my life, I decided that was enough. When I started getting more, like I said, my degrees were in psychology and sociology. In psychology, we learned a little bit about these, but back then you didn't have the internet like you do now, and what you learned wasn't deep enough to me. Now what you hear on the internet might not be true, but yeah, since I've been concentrating on it more and more, and it wasn't just since I've been on YouTube, but yeah, I started to see these are people I really did not need in my life. So I did what they call no contact. And with some, it's low contact, because some things you just can't get out of all that easily. And, people around my age, I'm 55, they might have a brother-in-law or a sister-in-law, or still a mother or father-in-law. My family's all, my parents are both have passed, and his parents both have passed. So, yeah. So, but you know, like some kind of in-law, or that you really can't get away from, or your own family for various reasons. You know, or if you still work, it might be somebody at work. And so low contact is great, you know, and they have something they call the gray, you know, some people call gray rock. It's where you basically, you know, when you're around them, have the personality of a gray rock, like a big boulder, you know, just a personality. You know, you're not saying much, you just, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. You know, this kind of thing. Yeah, and I've noticed that works. So if they're not getting anything out of you, they're not getting that attention they want, they're not ticking you off, and, you know, all that, and they just leave you alone, you know, because they want all that attention. They want to stir the pot, and they also love to play the victim. They're going to be the ones doing it, but they're going to play the victim. And they might tell people behind your back, oh, this person is doing this to me and that to me. And that person has no clue that because they're not doing it, and they have no clue that people are being told that, because these are experts at these games, especially around this age and older, you know. So anyway, I thought I'd do the video on this, and I'm going to do a video right after this one, so it's going to be on different days. Like I said, you know, doing things like that kind of spreads them out. I might start doing a video in the morning and you're putting up a video in the morning and a video in the afternoon, about 12 hours apart, like 7 and 7, you know, 7 o'clock a.m., 7 p.m. We'll see. You know, it just depends. So I'm going to wrap this up. If you want to subscribe to this channel, click the circle. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click on the rectangles. Like, subscribe, comment nicely. No telling me how to think. No telling me you're superior. Yeah, I'm still on that. And share on your own social media. And like I said, I'm going to do another video, and it's kind of going to be connected. All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.